Hello everyone. Today with me is the Pro Vice Chancellor and Dean of Adichunchanagiri University, Professor K. Byrappa sir. Hello sir, and thank you so much for accepting our invitation.
Hello, thank you very much for inviting me to your Collegedunia program.
So I would just like to have a small introduction of sir. So currently sir is the Pro Vice Chancellor and Dean in Research in Adichunchanagiri University. Earlier he was the former Vice Chancellor in Mangalore University, and sir has been also included in the Stanford University's new list of the top 2% scientists in the world in the year 2020. Sir is also the President, Material Science Section in Indian Science Congress 2019. So sir, I would like to ask you the very first question. You have held so many key positions at educational institutes throughout your professional career. What are the key factors that keeps you connected with this sector?
Yeah, it's a very good, interesting question. My passion for seamless learning and knowledge dissemination began at the childhood itself. And interaction with the young students and my research interest, academic network with internationally renowned academicians, and also a great international exposure have kept me going in this higher education sector. And also I had ample opportunities to work with world leaders in my area of research and also to collaborate with most of them. More than all, the special respect what you receive as a teacher from your students and alumni, and also from the fellow academicians, that keeps you going, in the higher education sector, tireless. And that makes you very content, very happy, satisfied when you see your students growing to greater heights right in front of your eyes. Okay, this is what I feel, which has kept me going tireless in the education sector.
Okay. So, sir, being the Pro Vice Chancellor and Dean in Research of Adichunchanagiri University, what is your philosophy of leadership? How would you describe your leadership style?
Well, as a Pro Vice Chancellor of this 3-year-old young university, Adichunchanagiri University, which is a private university in the state of Karnataka, and it has made my job as a young university, it has made my job very challenging. After spending 35 years in the state universities in different capacities, starting from the job of an assistant professor right up to the coveted post of Vice Chancellor of the state university. And this young private university has become now a fast emerging university in the country due to some of its innovative policies adopted in teaching, learning, evaluation, and research. The students' involvement is very important, and providing a kind of proper learning environment for the students, exposing these young minds to new horizons of knowledge, newer opportunities, inculcating the entrepreneurship and innovation. So these are all very important, challenging. Also, most important is the cross-border learning. This is the current trend in higher education system. Even the Honorable Prime Minister is talking about the interdisciplinary learning and encouraging the cross-border mobility among the students and more of choice-based learning with liberal science. This is very important, keeping in mind the new education policy 2020, the liberal arts and liberal science, and also imparting the skill, more of practical training, and exposing the students to the rural India through compulsory projects, works, and also the extension activities. I would like to give one small example what I did as a Vice Chancellor of Mangalore University with the help of or in association with the local government we call Jilla Panchayat. So with the help of this Jilla Panchayat, we along with our students, we participated in building in the rural areas vented dams. That became a very big news in the state. Similarly, I involved the students, including the foreign students, to give an exposure of rural India. We adopted one dry, barren land and we converted that into a wetland. And we also did the paddy planting, and it was all showed on the TV. And it became a very big success. The farmer who owned that land, dry land, was so happy that land has been now converted into the wetland. After the first yield harvest, he brought the paddy to us and presented to the hostel to feed the students. He said, "Now I have the wetland because of your efforts." So even some of the games were showed to the rural games, what people do during the monsoon time and also during the harvest time. All those games were showed to the foreign students, international students. They enjoyed it so much, and even some of the MLAs and ministers participated in that, and they were excited to see such things should be compulsorily made compulsory for the students, not only the Indian students, even for the overseas students, so that we can project our culture, we can project our living in the rural areas. This is very important. Then finally, establishing the students' mobility and credit to transfer, understanding the students' problems, if any, in terms of academic activities, involving the students in the organizational activities, nurturing the talented students for their progression. This is very important, not only for the university, but for the society and for the country, nurturing the students, talented students' progression, and treating the present students as ambassadors. This is what we are doing, ambassadors of the university, to represent the university in various events and for future enrollment of next generation students to the university. So the present students can act as our ambassadors, brand ambassadors. Also, as a Pro-Vice Chancellor, my duties extend towards the unearthing of research potential among the faculties and accordingly identifying the thrust areas of research having a direct bearing on the society. Then facilitating the faculty to set up state-of-the-art laboratories catering not only to the requirements of that faculty, but also to attract the students at all the levels, I mean both PG and UG levels, to develop a kind of research mind or research culture. Then formulating various regulations or guidelines or statutes to the university related to the PhD programs or research policies, IPR policies, academic policies, and so on as and when required. Setting up industry, university networking, proper governance, initiating the public participation in some of the activities of the university, and so on. Providing a kind of timely advice to the management and administration related to the growth of the university. And finally, let me say it is a great opportunity and a honor for me to work under the leadership of our most well-read and highly educated Chancellor, who himself is IIT Madras graduate and a doctorate degree holder, and he is ably assisted by another very senior Vice Chancellor having a vast knowledge of academic administration with over 12 years of experience as Vice Chancellor of both public and private universities. And to work with such people in the management and in the administration, this gives me a lot of pleasure, I would say.
And that's really nice, sir, to hear it out. So, I would like to understand about the university. So, how do you strategize about the key programs and plans for the marketing and administration of Adichunchanagiri University?
Yeah, as I said, our university is young, 3 years old, but it has got good recognition both at the state and national levels. We have some excellent strategies framed, and also a few of our innovative programs like Industry Hub, Innovation Centers, Incubation Centers, international and national collaborations with most reputed research laboratories and industries on the frontier areas of research. Also, university intends to start skill-embedded and internship-based programs at the UG level itself to match with the new education policy of India, NEP 2020. And we also have the integrated PhD programs from the next academic year we would like to start. And the curriculum is designed to match with the current trends with respect to the industry's requirements, societal needs, requirements of the academia, etc. And incubation centers, I'm sure, would definitely provide an opportunity to the students to learn the skills, entrepreneurship, and leadership. So building the team spirit in students in problem solving, this is very important. This is what I once took as a professor at the University of Mysore. Took a group of young students, research scholars, to the Infosys campus to show how they develop a kind of team spirit and leadership among the workers, and the participation of talented and meritorious students in the various committees of the university, including the membership in the academic council. These are very important. Promoting industrial training through internship programs for the students, and also extending pre-ship to the meritorious students are some of the strategies being adopted at our university.
Okay, so sir, I would like to understand that any insights into how your university could be more welcoming to the students of different races or economic backgrounds?
Yes, definitely. Our university is catering to the needs of the multicultural students, and we have students from different races, different culture, and also the international students. And this is one of the most important issues in the current scenario, to create an environment for students of multicultural races that includes the overseas students as well from different countries. And as you know, India can attract foreign students even from developed countries in areas such as from advanced countries for programs, especially related to the IT courses, IT programs, Indian philosophy, Indian folklore, Indian culture, yoga, Ayurveda, Sanskrit, and also Indian music. Similarly, our country can attract overseas students from developing countries in all the disciplines of science, humanities, engineering, technology, medicine, management, social science, and so on. In fact, MHRD, Government of India, is working in this direction to promote a stay in India and study in India concept. If you can provide some of the best infrastructure, on-campus facilities, and the international faculty within our own universities, campuses, whether it is private or state or central or deemed to be universities, and multicultural student-centered campuses, if you can encourage, definitely India can attract students from all the geographic regions, and this is what our university is heading towards. This would insist on the programs, curriculum of international standard or character, and infrastructure, including the teaching quality and the faculty with a very broad exposure to to the higher education, and most importantly, adaptability to international students' culture. This is what I always used to tell my faculty as a Vice Chancellor or Pro-Vice Chancellor. Try to understand the foreign students, their cultural background. It's quite different from ours. When you talk to them, when the students approach you, you have to be very polite and try to understand their culture like this. And new or innovative evaluation methods are being established in our university to meet the international standards.
So, sir, according to you, what do you think should be the university's top priority over the next 10 years?
This is very important. We are actually keeping this in mind. We are moving at a fast pace, transforming, our goal is transforming Adichunchanagiri University into the university with difference, not just any conventional university like others. This should be a university with difference, university with excellence, university with international repute, university with global standard in terms of curriculum. So which is possible here in this multi-faculty private university. That way we are having a lot of advantage being the multi-faculty private university and the autonomy what we get, and also for the cross-border learning. Okay, the faculty recruitment, what we are doing, at present, we are very carefully selecting the faculties who have a great overseas exposure for more than a decade or two with strong research potential. And university would prefer to go for the All India entrance test in the next for admission, at least by the next 5 years. So this is our target. And creating on-campus infrastructure facilities, including hostels of international standard, shopping complex, campus housing for faculty, and also for the overseas or foreign visiting professors. And finally, easy connectivity with the major cities are some of our top priorities to take our university to the international level.
Okay, so sir, I would like to ask you the very last question. What do you like the people to know about university, your university, which they might not know?
Yeah, this is, most of the universities work on this particular aspect to brand the university. Our university's vision and mission clearly meet the societal needs. And especially in the past 3 years, the university is getting a brand name as one of the fast emerging private universities in India, as per the MHRD's list. I want the people to know that Adichunchanagiri University is the place for higher learning, a very special one for learning with moral values. This is very important, and our university should be an ideal and congenial atmosphere for teaching and learning. We have created such a congenial and ideal atmosphere with excellent infrastructural facilities, taking us towards the internationalization of the higher education, as evidenced by the existence of some international students enrolled for various programs in this university.
Well, thank you so much, sir, for sharing all your thoughts on this questions what you have responded to. I hope the students who will go through this interview, they're definitely going to be enlightened and they can understand what they can expect from Adichunchanagiri University. Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your thoughts.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Devendra.